What if I told you that the phone in your hand, the car you drive, the hospital machines that save lives, and even the satellites floating above the Earth all depend on one ancient metal? A metal humans have been obsessed with for over 5,000 years. Gold is not just jewelry. It is not just bars locked in vaults. It is quietly powering the modern world in ways most people never notice. And today, you're going to see gold in a completely different light. Before we dive deep, make sure you hit like and subscribe to the Gold Report Desk, because we break down the real stories behind gold, money, and the global economy in a way that's simple, clear, and actually useful. If you care about understanding where the world is heading financially and technologically, you're in the right place. When most people think of gold, they imagine necklaces, rings, wedding bands, or maybe big gold bars stored in banks. That image is powerful, and it has shaped human history. But in today's world, gold is much more than a symbol of wealth. It is a critical industrial material. It is part of your daily life, even if you never wear it. And the reason comes down to science. Gold does not rust, it does not corrode, it conducts electricity extremely well. It is soft and easy to shape. It reflects heat and light efficiently. These unique properties make gold almost impossible to replace in many high-tech applications. Let's start with something you use every single day: your smartphone. Inside your phone are tiny connectors and circuits. These small components carry electrical signals at high speed. If these connections corrode or weaken, your phone would fail. Gold is used to coat connectors and circuit boards because it resists corrosion and maintains a stable electrical connection over time. Even a small amount of rust or oxidation can interrupt signals in electronics. Gold prevents that. Each phone contains only a tiny amount, but when you multiply that by billions of devices worldwide, the demand becomes massive. It's not just smartphones. Laptops, tablets, gaming consoles, smart TVs, routers, data servers, and even smart home devices all rely on gold. In data centers where massive servers process information for cloud services, reliability is everything. A tiny failure in a connection can cost companies millions. Gold ensures stable, long-lasting performance. In other words, the digital world runs partly on gold. Now, think about electric vehicles. The shift toward electric cars is accelerating. These vehicles depend on advanced electronics, battery management systems, and power control units. Gold is used in connectors and high reliability components because electric vehicles operate under extreme conditions, including heat, vibration, and constant electrical load. As the world pushes toward renewable energy and electric transportation, gold quietly supports that transition. And then there's aerospace. Space is one of the harshest environments imaginable. Extreme temperatures, radiation, and vacuum conditions make materials fail quickly. Gold is used in satellites, spacecraft, and even astronaut helmets. The thin gold layer on astronaut visors reflects harmful solar radiation while allowing visibility. Satellites use gold-coated components to ensure stable signal transmission and durability in space. Without gold, many space missions would face serious technical challenges. In medicine, gold plays a life-saving role. You might be surprised to learn that gold is used in medical devices, diagnostic tools, and even cancer treatments. Gold nanoparticles are being studied and used in targeted drug delivery systems. Because gold is biocompatible, meaning it does not react negatively with the human body, it can be used safely in certain treatments. Some cancer therapies use gold particles that attach to tumor cells and help deliver treatment more precisely, reducing damage to healthy tissue. Gold is also used in dentistry. While modern materials are more common today, gold crowns and fillings are still valued for durability and biocompatibility. They can last decades without degrading. In high-end medical equipment, gold ensures accurate signal transmission in sensitive devices like heart monitors and imaging systems. Now, let's talk about finance, because this is where gold's role becomes deeply emotional and strategic. Gold has been money for thousands of years. Even today, central banks around the world hold large reserves of gold. Why? Because gold is seen as a store of value. Unlike paper currency, it cannot be printed. Unlike digital assets, it does not depend on electricity or internet systems. Gold is physical, finite, and globally recognized. During times of economic uncertainty, investors often turn to gold. When inflation rises, when currencies weaken, when stock markets become volatile, gold often gains attention. It acts as a hedge. It represents stability when confidence in financial systems drops. That psychological power is just as important as its physical properties. In fact, many countries have been increasing their gold reserves in recent years. Central banks understand that in a world of geopolitical tension and currency competition, gold offers independence. It is a neutral asset. It does not belong to any single government. It is accepted everywhere. Let's look at renewable energy. Gold is used in certain types of solar panels to improve efficiency and conductivity. As the world invests more in green energy, the demand for high-performance materials grows. Even small efficiency gains can make a huge difference when scaled across millions of panels. Gold's reliability makes it valuable in this space. In high-end audio and video equipment, gold-plated connectors are used because they provide better signal quality and resist corrosion. While some debates exist about how much improvement this makes, the reliability factor is undeniable. Over time, gold connectors maintain their performance better than many alternatives. Now, let's zoom out and think about the bigger picture. We are living in a world that is becoming more digital, more connected, and more dependent on advanced technology. Artificial intelligence, 5G networks, quantum computing research, and advanced robotics all rely on complex electronic systems. These systems require materials that are stable, efficient, and durable. Gold fits that need. At the same time, global debt levels are rising. Governments are printing money at unprecedented levels. Inflation concerns are growing. In this environment, gold becomes more than an industrial metal. It becomes a strategic asset. Investors see it as protection. Nations see it as security. Industries see it as essential. But gold is not just about industry and finance. It still holds a strong cultural and emotional value. In many cultures, gold jewelry is passed down through generations. It represents tradition, celebration, and family wealth. Weddings, festivals, and milestones often include gold as a symbol of prosperity and good fortune. The jewelry industry remains one of the largest sources of gold demand worldwide. Designers continuously create new styles, blending tradition with modern trends. Even in an age dominated by digital assets and cryptocurrencies, physical gold jewelry continues to attract buyers. Speaking of cryptocurrencies, many people compare Bitcoin to gold. Some call it digital gold. While both are seen as stores of value, gold has a physical presence and thousands of years of history behind it. It does not depend on code, networks, or electricity. That distinction matters to many conservative investors. Another fascinating area is nanotechnology. Gold at the nanoscale behaves differently than bulk gold. Scientists are exploring its use in advanced sensors, environmental monitoring, and cutting-edge medical diagnostics. Tiny gold particles can detect chemical changes at extremely small levels, making them useful in detecting diseases early. Gold is also used in high-performance computing systems. As processors become more powerful, managing heat and maintaining reliable connections becomes more challenging. Gold's thermal and electrical properties make it valuable in maintaining system stability. Let's not forget about the defense industry. Military equipment often requires components that can withstand extreme conditions. Gold's resistance to corrosion and reliable conductivity make it suitable for critical systems where failure is not an option. Now imagine a world without gold in modern technology. Electronics would corrode faster, medical devices would face reliability issues, space missions would be riskier, financial systems would lose a historical anchor. Gold may not always be visible, but it is deeply embedded in the infrastructure of our civilization. The supply of gold is limited. Mining new gold is expensive and environmentally challenging. It requires heavy machinery, significant energy, and careful environmental management. Because gold is finite, recycling has become increasingly important. Old electronics are now a source of recycled gold. Urban mining, which involves extracting valuable metals from electronic waste, is growing as an industry. This creates an interesting dynamic. As technology demand increases, gold demand grows. But supply growth is relatively slow. This balance between supply and demand influences gold prices over time. Investors watch this carefully. Another trend shaping gold's future is geopolitical tension. When global stability is threatened, gold often becomes a safe haven. Trade disputes, wars, and political uncertainty can push investors toward assets they perceive as stable. Gold has historically benefited during such times. At the same time, technological innovation continues to find new ways to use gold more efficiently. Engineers are constantly trying to reduce the amount needed per device while maintaining performance. This helps manage costs, but also highlights how valuable gold truly is. If you think about it, gold sits at the intersection of ancient history and futuristic innovation. It was used in ancient coins and royal crowns, and now it is used in quantum research labs and space exploration. Very few materials have maintained relevance across thousands of years. This dual role gives gold a unique position. It is both emotional and practical. It is both cultural and scientific. It is both decorative and functional. For investors, understanding gold means understanding psychology as well as economics. When fear rises, gold often rises. When confidence returns, gold can stabilize. It does not always move in a straight line, but its long-term role remains strong. For technologists, gold is a reliable material that solves problems others cannot. For doctors and scientists, it opens doors to new treatments and diagnostics. For governments, it represents financial sovereignty. For families, it represents security and legacy. As we move further into a world driven by artificial intelligence, renewable energy, advanced healthcare, and space exploration, gold's relevance is unlikely to disappear. In fact, it may become even more important. And this is why conversations about gold are not outdated. They are forward-looking. At the Gold Report desk, we focus on these deeper connections, not just price charts, but the real-world forces driving demand and shaping the future. If you've made it this far, you're already seeing gold differently. It's not just something locked away in vaults. It's in your pocket, in hospitals, in satellites, in renewable energy systems, and in central bank reserves. The next time you upgrade your phone, think about the tiny gold connectors inside it. The next time you hear about inflation or economic uncertainty, think about why central banks still hold gold. The next time you see a rocket launch into space, remember that gold is part of that mission. Gold is ancient yet modern. It is simple yet powerful. It is rare yet everywhere. And here's something to think about. As the world becomes more digital and more complex, will physical, tangible assets like gold become even more valuable in people's minds? Will governments continue increasing reserves? Will technology drive new forms of demand we haven't even imagined yet? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you see gold mainly as jewelry, as an investment, or as a critical technology metal? Drop your opinion in the comments because your perspective matters, and these discussions help everyone learn. If you found this breakdown useful, share this video with someone who still thinks gold is just about necklaces and rings. And of course, make sure you're subscribed to the Gold Report desk so you don't miss our upcoming deep dives into gold markets, economic trends, and the future of money. Gold has traveled with humanity from ancient temples to modern laboratories, and if history is any guide, it's not going anywhere. The real question is not whether gold still matters. The real question is how much more important it might become in the years ahead.